Please, Siva Chennupati. Siva
Yeah,
Chennupati, please start your lecture. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prabhakar Garu and Veda Samskruti for giving this opportunity. Actually, I have some technical issue. I couldn't speak from my computer, so I'm speaking through the mobile phone and I'm presenting it through the computer. Yeah, I think it works, right? You can hear me, right?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So great, actually. Yeah. So I would like to start actually with a small sloka from Aditya Hrudayam. Puja Shiva Vivashwantam Bhaskaram Bhuvaneshwaram. Worship the sun, the source of all and the owner of this universe. So no sun, no energy, and no life. We all know this. And all the elements in the periodic table, what we have, 118 or so elements,
One
are
second, Sivaji, one second. Siva, one second. Please, everybody go to mute, please. Request everyone to be in mute, please. Again, somebody is talking. Okay. Now start.
Yeah. So no sun, no energy, and no life on Earth. Actually, we all know this. And all the elements in the periodic table, 118 or so, or whatever it is, are made in the stars like sun by the fusion of hydrogen. So the suns or the stars are the manufacturers of all the elements in the periodic table. So sun is the ultimate source and the owner of this universe. Some even call it, even I consider it as Pratyaksha Daivam. Pratyaksha Daivam, so which means it's a live, living God. Actually. So what you see here as a logo, actually, it's is a wheel. It looks like a sun. Basically, this is my childhood idea, which is more than 30 years old, which came to life recently since 2019. So I left my job, full-time job, and I'm working full-time on this invention, propeller. Initially, I thought it's my own invention, but recently, about 1 year ago, I found that no, this is not an invention. It's already being used in the ancient past, more than 8,000 years ago. So I call this now a reinvention of what was already done in the past, actually. Yeah. So I'll shortly go through the journey of how this is made and what I made, and afterwards I'll switch um, to my enlightenment of finding out how this was used in the ancient sciences. So that's why I call this as the wheels of ancient Indian sciences, actually. So before we jump into that, I'd like to give a short introduction of what is a wheel and what is a screw, actually. So we all know that the screw has been invented by Leonardo da Vinci in around 14th century, and we all been using it since 14th century. But no one knows when the wheel was invented. So we can technically say that it's since more than 10,000 years, or ever since the man was there. Wheel was used by humans, but no one knows exactly when it was invented or by whom and whatever. Yeah. So we all know that the wheels are smooth, whereas the screws they cut through the medium, actually. So if you take take a small screw and try to screw it into a piece of wood, it's the same thing. So the screw, when you screw it to the piece of wood, when you make one turn, the amount of distance it goes into the wood is one page, actually. It's the distance between the lines of the grooves, what you see. So the same is a propeller, a screw propeller. The amount of distance it travels forward for one rotation is a page. Say, for example, in this graphic image, say, let's call this as pitch 1 centimeter. So for one rotation, the screw will go forward by, say, 1 centimeter. And take the same size of the wheel at the bottom, say this has a radius of 2 centimeters, but the distance traveled for one rotation is 2 pi r. Let's take pi rounded off to 3. I'm sorry, but some Sanskrit scholars may get offended. We have great shlokas in Vedic texts, which gives the value of pi up to 32 digits. But for the time being, let's take it as 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, and let's take the radius as 2 centimeters. So we get 12 centimeters, which is 10 to 15 times longer distance the wheel travels compared to a screw. Or indirectly, we can say that screw rotates 10 to 15 times faster to cover the same distance which is traveled by the wheel. So we know actually the screw can be used also on the land. There are some videos on YouTube. You can look for that. Search for a screw propelled vehicle. You'll find it. There's a Russian tanker. This is a picture of a Russian tanker. You can use this, but it's very slow and it cuts the land or it damages the road. Also, you can't use it. But for military off-road purposes, it's okay. But it's very slow and works. It works actually. So we know we use the wheel for the land. Everyone knows that. And it's quite popular. So we use also the screw for air and water, for airplanes or boats and ships. Everyone knows that. Now the question comes is, where is the wheel for air and water actually? So actually the modern society or the modern science has ignored or forgot to develop the wheels for air and water. So the summary of this slide, I would say, is like wheels are pretty old and they are smooth and they travel 10 to 15 times faster, or compared to a screw, a wheel will rotate only 10 times lower speed to cover the same distance. So this is the takeaway from this slide, and we don't have wheels for air and water actually. Coming to the next slide, there's also a big fundamental difference between a screw and a wheel. Many people don't know this. Even many experts are not aware of this. So we all know that the screw will, from the table fan, you can know that the wind or the airflow which is generated by a screw fan or a table fan is only in one direction, and it will generate a push in the opposite direction. If you put wheels, the fan will go in the direction of the red arrow thrust actually. So we know that it generates only the push or wind only in one direction, only in the direction of the axis. That's why it's called axial thrust propeller. It's so acts in only one direction. But whereas the wheel, many people think it's only goes also in one direction, but in reality, a wheel can do a 360-degree directional thrust. So we use wheel only to drive it on the land. So we touch it only on the ground. That means we create a friction only at the bottom side, and say when the wheel rotates clockwise, the wheel will move, or the thrust is generated in the forward direction, towards the right direction. But if you take the same wheel, rotate in the same clockwise direction, but if you touch it on the top, say put it on the ceiling, same direction rotation, everything is the same. You just change the friction point from bottom to top side. Now the wheel starts moving towards the left. So the only difference is you just change this touch the friction point. It goes changes the direction. So similarly, by changing the friction point to the left, the wheel will go down. If you change the friction point to the right, the wheel will go up. So changing just the friction point on the wheel, you can generate 360-degree directional thrust. This is the summary of the wheel. But now the question is how to use that in air and water. Yes, this is the invention. It's also filed. The patent is filed. Is to make a small propeller. Hub of a propeller is pretty small. This was not a new idea. This idea exists more than 100 years ago, but it's called Christian Boeing propeller. But the hub was quite big and it was not useful and it was not scalable. That's the reason why no one uses it. And this invention is making the hub extremely small, or small size. I'll come to that in the next slide, but I'll explain you how this propeller works. If you see this propeller from the top view from this direction, the bottom blade is horizontal. Here is the blade on the right side, sunlight, the flat horizontal one. When the blade goes to the top, it's a vertical one, the sunlight on the top. is a vertical. The sunlight is a vertical blade. Actually, that's when you see that propeller from that top right view. This looks like the sun actually, and this is also the shown in the animation here. So this one is a propeller which looks like a sun, and the center hub, which is quite small, is the sun, and the blades or the sunlight. So it's the whole thing looks like a sun. So technically, you can use this for power generation and also thrust generation. That means thrust generation is to drive a boat or a ship or a drone or airplane. Yeah, you can do this in both air and water. So you can do both power generation and thrust generation in 360 degrees and more efficiently, and with 10x lower RPM, rotations per minute. So how this works is like the center is the hub, and those are the blades. And if you rotate that, say, in clockwise direction in that manner, it generates the airflow. It could be water or air. It will push to the right. When the blade is going towards the left at the bottom side, it doesn't push anything. So with less friction, it goes again to the top and rotates. And this will generate a thrust towards the left direction. So in the same way, by changing the angle of the blades, so if you push the medium air or water down, the thrust is generated upwards actually. So here, by changing the angle of the blades, we can generate thrust to the right side, and also we can generate thrust to the bottom. So technically, by changing the angle of the blades, um, it's possible to generate thrust in all 360 degree direction. So we have done this. Actually, we have the first propeller which was made, which at the bottom left side, it's 100 millimeter hub, was 3D printed in 2019, and we showed this in in World Energy Council in Abu Dhabi, and we have right now this 250 millimeter hub, which is used as a micro wind turbine. The big advantage is this starts rotating and generating power energy at 1.5 meters per second. And another beauty of this is it doesn't require any mast. So you can directly, because the blades doesn't come down, so you don't need a ground clearance. You can directly install and you can generate power more efficiently at very low wind speeds. So yeah, so this the left side is for power generation. When the air or water will try to push the blades, it will rotate and it will generate power. And this is already we have a working model, and we want to start production in India soon for this propeller. So, and on the right side is for thrust generation. You can see that yeah, the hub, it's a half size of football, half cut actually hemisphere. Everything is in there. It's pretty complicated to make this. Many people think people who don't understand the technology, they say, okay, something is rotating, it's just a propeller. But the technical people who really understand the complexity of this, they say, whoa, wait a minute, this is not possible. How did you do all that? How did you put all that complex care mechanism into that small hemisphere? And many people don't believe it actually. Some people think that this is just fake animation, but we have this product and we've been working on this for 3 years actually. Yeah. So we also did some thrust measurements. The interesting part is the last line. At 444 RPM, we got a thrust of 4 kg of thrust. This is really amazing amount of thrust. If you want to get this amount of thrust using a screw propeller, you need at least 4,000 to 5,000 RPM because this is a wheel. It runs at 10x lower RPM. So this is already proven that this runs at much lower RPM and it generates less noise, and it generates 360 degree direction thrust. There's a video, I can't show this. It's pretty long video on the YouTube. You can see that. So we can, just by changing the angle of the blades during the operation, we can generate 360 degree directional thrust. And this work is already going on for multiple years, say almost like 3 years. And many people say like, oh, wait a minute, why no one has thought about this, or why no one has made this? And I don't have an answer why humanity or the modern science has ignored it or forgot this. And I don't have an answer why people didn't invent this till now. It's not my problem, because it's not found, and somehow it's my childhood idea. But anyway, I invented this. I started working on this from 2019, but I don't have an answer. And I've been showing this to multiple people, and the people who really understand it, they say, "Wow, this is technically impossible," and this is really great, and people really love that. If anyone, in case, has any questions of the complexity of this, why is this not possible, please raise this question in the question and answer section. I'll answer that. So I was going through this, and there was a huge change in direction, or the eye opener thing happened in the beginning of 2000, last year, beginning of January 2021, and I started raising the question, like, okay, the modern science didn't invent this, and a question comes up like, where did our ancestors use this wheel to fly vimanas in the past? Was the question came up, and I found out, like, yes, probably we did use this in the ancient past. And the reason why I started looking at this Vimana Shastra in the beginning of January 2021 was like one plasma physicist from Germany. Actually, he is also was a professor in TU Berlin. He's working on plasma engines for jet engines for space travel. Actually, he's not a small guy, and he mentioned that he has a Vedic book where this propeller was used in some kind of flying machines, and he told me to look into some Vedic text. I like, what are you talking about? I couldn't believe it, and since then I started digging into Vimana Shastra, and all this thing came up, and I was able to find out some references in Vimana Shastra, and it really looks like we already have used this in the past. So I started looking into the Rukma Vimana, and there is it's a paper from 1974 from Indian. Okay. So there was a paper from 1974 from Indian Institute of Sciences where they clearly went through the possibilities, and they said, like, these vimanas are technically not possible to fly. To a certain extent, yes, I agree with their findings and the paper from 1974 from Indian Institute of Sciences, because looks like there was an error in the translation, because what you see in that picture is like they used standard screw propellers where the thrust is axially. So any wind or the thrust or airflow which generates, it goes and hits its own body. It tries to push itself, and this will not generate any meaningful thrust, and it will not help in vertical takeoff and landing. So this thing will technically, using the existing screw propeller technology, it will not fly. But if you use the radial thrust propeller for this aeroplane, like the Sunflower propeller, which has a 360-degree directional thrust capabilities, so technically we can make this fly using we can make the Rakumana make fly. So what you see on the top side propeller will push the air down, and the blades, while coming up, it will come vertically up without any friction. So it will just go up. After going up, you can change the angle of the blades, and it can generate the thrust in forward direction, actually. So I'm already working on lightweight propeller for this one. Actually, my camera is not working, otherwise I would have shown this. So it's technically possible. We can make this Rakumimana fly. So soon I'm going to make this Rakumimana and demonstrate that Vedic Vimanas are real, and they are possible, actually. So actually, the most interesting thing actually is we found out slokas from Vimana Shastra, actually, with a lot of help from a lot of experts from even from Germany. Like, I have some experts, Vedic experts, who are helping me out in translating the slokas, actually. So as per this sloka, actually, I don't want to go through the slokas. My pronunciation sometimes it might be wrong. As per the shloka, what you see there actually is it's the shloka 84 from page 300. So for direction change, parivartanat is for changing the direction. The circular rotation, like rotation of the blades is being controlled. So this is what actually is a sunflower propeller is also doing, which is not possible with a screw propeller. So it's no way and no point of using a screw propeller there. It will not fly. It will not work at all. But using this sunflower propeller, you can make this this propeller fly. And it's this shloka also in the second line. It clearly says that half moon shaped devices are fixed in 4 directions. So now the question is, what is this half moon shaped devices? Actually, basically, this is exactly the same thing here. Actually, what you see here is this. This is the hub. Actually, what you see here is a half hemisphere or half football size. Is the half hemisphere. Looks like they're talking about exactly the same thing here. So it's a hub with some kind of cycloid propeller complexity, which is made into that some small compact thing. So the shlokas really support that this kind of propellers are being used for making Rukumana. These shlokas are exactly from the Rukumana section. But yeah, we need to dig more and need more experts to look into those old shlokas and to decode that. It's just the beginning right now. Similarly, I looked into the Shaknu Vimana, and I can see that the blades on this, doesn't use blades, actually it uses the wings. Actually, you can see that the wing is folded backwards, and there is a dotted line on the top, like which is kind of opening it up. Technically, making a wing like that, which can fold backwards and open up forward and flap it to take off is not really sufficient for vertical takeoff. And you can't make a wing which can fold like that, as shown in the picture. Actually, maybe this whole picture and the translation was incorrect. But using a sunflower propeller there, the mechanism, we can make Shakanu Viman also make fly. So I just put four blades. Technically, you don't need 4 blades. You just need 1 blade for propeller. And so you can when the blade comes close to the body, it comes vertically up, and when it goes extends, it's like opens up like a wing of a bird, and it will just flap down to generate the vertical lift, and it will fly actually. So and they also found a shloka which clearly explains the functionality. Shloka 31 from page 251. It's talking about the wing section actually. Tube's air column base is firmly fixed to the rotating part. They're not talking about an oscillating or flapping wing part. They're clearly talking about something which has been rotating. So this is what is this rotating part? And so technically this sunflower propeller kind of the cycloid propeller, what we are talking about, is a rotating part, and which will fulfill the requirements that the blade will come. It can fold also next close to the body, and it can open up and fly like a bird with open wings actually. So you can these are all the modes of operation. So you can see on the top row actually the wings are is the front view. Top row is the front view of the Shaknu Vimana, and the center one is the side view, and the bottom row is the top view. So you can see as a first column, the wings are stretched and flies like a bird, or like in the cruise mode. In the center column, where the wings are folded, you can use it as for park position or to dive very fast. So this one will be an amazing military fighter plane, or whatever you call it. Same is valid for Shaknu Viman also. It could be it can change. Shaknu Vimana can also change the direction instantly, and go instantly towards the left or top, bottom, right. Or this will also be a very interesting or highly maneuverable military aircraft. The same is for Shaknu Vimana also. This will be an amazing military aircraft if you can make it actually. And the shlokas and support that, but it only gives outline. We need to dig more into this to understand better this technology and bring it to life actually. So yeah, so technically it makes sense and now it's possible. So all you can say right now it's an incorrect translation of Shikuna Mana and Rukma Mana. So but using the right propulsion technology, so far the existing screw propeller technology, it's not possible, but using this advanced latest technology of cycloid propellers, so we can make Shukuna Vimana and Rukma Vimana fly again using this technology. Yeah. So the work is going on, and so there's a lot of support is being required. So I'm working full time on this without any pay or any salary for almost 3 years. Now I'm going to start making this small radio scaled Rukma Vimana. I want to make this fly in India first. Even though I'm based in Munich, Germany, so I wanted to do this. There's a lot of legal challenges and technical support and financial support is required to make this happen, which is not yet. Um, so far, I don't have any support from anyone, but I need support. And one more thing I want to highlight is the finding from Dr. CSR Prabhuji, actually. So he helped me out to find the right shloka, and he found out a shloka which talks about Kila Shanku, actually. So the direct translation of this is this shloka 92 from page 300 is wheels inside the pipe rotate and the Kila Shankus. Kila means is a joint or a bone joint or elbow joint, you can call it. And Shanku is you know, it's in the shape of a cone or a triangle, actually. So the Kila Shankus inside rotate and revolve in sequence. This is exactly how this cycloid propeller is working. And this is just the beginning, and there's a lot of work needs to be done. You need a lot of collaboration and support from all kind of technical, mechanical, aeronautics, flight control systems. A lot of things has to be done to make this this fly, and I'm really looking forward for collaboration to bring back these ancient Vimanas and want to see them fly again. Yeah. So yeah, so that's the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for Prabhakar ji and also CSR Prabhuji for helping me out and bringing this to the attention of Veda Samskruti, and it's an honor to present this here to all of you guys. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Great. Nice of you, Mr. Siva. It's a great presentation. The thing is, you already first invented now something, and then you have attributed that is already there in the Vedas. That's what there is a fantastic thing that is to be observed.
Yeah, yes, that's true, actually, yes.
So, first you did some research yourself,
I would call
thinking
it
that
as a reinvention, actually. Yeah, it's initially I thought it's my invention. I was the first one, but
you thought like that. It's, finally, you found out that is in Vedas itself, and that is to be properly assimilated now. That's what
exactly.
we get now. And how you do it, how you go about it, let God will decide that. The right persons will come and right persons will support you, definitely, if God wills that. Definitely, it will be an encouraging thing. And I request anybody who is in the group, is interested to support Siva, most welcome. And then any questions now or any reactions or any additions to the
Sorry, sir. One reaction I have. Sorry to interrupt everybody. I request personally, especially the people, that lady who is from, who is a captain. I've forgotten her name.
Dinisha.
Such people can actually collaborate with Siva sir and try to make his invention done here in India. Actually, Siva sir, are you doing something in India now?
Yeah, actually, I've been invited to the IIT Bombay, so we want to do a collaboration, which is not yet finalized, but we're going to start the first meetings. So I'm going to come to IIT Bombay in June. I'm going to present my propeller there. let's see how this will evolve and come on.
Prabhakar Rao Garu, so that publish it everywhere. And I personally request Prabhakar Garu to make more what do you say, these type of things, especially in Siva Sir's inventions and Vimana Shastra, etc. So that we were also, persons like me also get benefited.
Sure, definitely. Definitely we'll go ahead. We all should together work on and see what is the main mission is that only to assemble the right-minded people to do a teamwork.
Yeah, like this is impossible, or this was considered as a pseudoscience. It was very. Yeah, this was now it's technically possible. We can make this happen actually. So it's a matter of putting our hands and energies together and make this as possible. Actually.
Yeah. Anybody else would like to react?
Guruji, Dinisha, can I come in?
Yeah, please.
Yes, I just want to, I was really enjoying because the ancient science has to come out, and Dr. Siva has worked a lot on it. Though I'm not the right person, but I have strong belief that this should reach to right authorities. And I don't know what efforts have been done to reach out to the country leading positions so that the support can come in for such researches. Because if we do not support such researches, then other people from the West and other countries, they will come in and take their own patent on this. So do share whatever work has been done and where all you have approached. I'm not promising, but where all I have connects, I'll try to approach them.
Yeah. So let us share the numbers and make a group effort. So, Jos Achirdi Garu, you would like to react?
Sir,
Mahodaya,
just I make a small comment.
Yeah.
I'm not a technician, but as far as this Veda is concerned, Professor Siva Chennupati seems he has taken from the Brihad Vimana Shastra. He has got the shape, the Veda Vimana has got the shape of Radha, that is with subsacrum. In second mandala, 40th sukta, third mantra. Now coming to third mandala, there are 2-3 suktas about this Rajasaha Vimanaha. Rajasa means sky in Rigveda. Rajasa Vimana, that which goes in the sky with this Gandharvas. 3, 4 in the third sukta, fourth mantra, 26 sukta, seventh mantra of third mandala. The same, almost same is repeated in seventh mandala, 87 sukta, sixth mantra, as it flies with the speed, propellers, and all these are here. And more elaborate are there in 10th mandala with all these spare parts, the speeds, all these. I don't have time to elaborate them, but just I read out the reference for the sake of Professor Siva. 62 sukta, 14th mantra, 86 sukta, 45th mantra, 121 sukta, 5th mantra, 123 sukta, first mantra, 139 sukta, 5th mantra. All these more than 10 references are there in Rigveda regarding, I mean, many aspects. I don't know, I mean, the elaboration of
Rigveda, which mandala?
I mean, I have given all the mandalas, second, third, 7th, 10th. There are many references in 10th mandala.
Okay.
If you want, sir, read me again, I shall read it.
Yeah, Siva would like to note down, or shall I ask him to?
Yeah. Actually, I will get in connect offline.
Yeah, I'll give his number. You can get in touch.
Because I'm not an expert on Sanskrit. Actually, I need help. I'm good in technical and.
No, but Mr. Acharedi is Professor Acharedi, Dr. Acharedi is knowledgeable person Sanskrit and Rigveda also. You can be in touch with him and then interact with him.
Okay, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, sure. So I can share your name number to Mr. Siva? Acharedi Garu?
Sir?
Yes.
I'll share your number. Acharedi Garu, I'll share your number to Siva.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please.
So, okay.
Namo Namah.
Yes, Boliye, Snehalata ji. Rajgopalan ji, wait, please wait. I will be last. Okay.
जी,
Yeah.
मैं जो स्पीकर है उनसे सिर्फ पूछना चाहती थी कि डॉक्टर मीराशी जो है उनका विमान शास्त्र पर एक प्रबंध बहुत पहले प्रसिद्ध हो चुका है, तो उसका रेफरेंस उन्होंने लिया है क्या? नागपुर से उन्होंने संशोधन किया था, विदर्भ संशोधन मंडल से किया था, तो विमान शास्त्र के ऊपर ही उनका संशोधन है,
शिवाजी,
उसके बारे में सिर्फ पूछना था उनसे।
मुझे नहीं पता एक्चुअली, कुछ ज्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन दे सकते हैं आप एक्चुअली?
अच्छा, तो वो आपके लिए आपके सहयोग के लिए अच्छा होगा, आप वो भी रेफरेंस के लिए ले सकते हैं। बहुत अच्छा उनका।
Please give our number, we will share with him. Please give the number of Meenakshi ji to us.
जी अभी मेरे पास तो उपलब्ध नहीं है, लेकिन अगर मुझे मिलता है तो मैं शेयर कर दूंगी ग्रुप में।
Okay, ठीक है, please send to me. No, not in the group. Please send to me. You give my number there in the group chat box. You know my number. Snehalata ji, you know my number. You know my number.
हाँ, आपका नंबर है सर।
या मुझे भेज दीजिए।
ओके ओके, थैंक यू सर। वो 30 साल पहले की बात है, उनका पेपर प्रेजेंट हुआ था एक बार इस विषय पर।
They mentioned Dr. Prabhu name, what he mentioned. He is also an expert working last 30 years on this. So Dr. Prabhu. So maybe Meenakshi and Prabhu may be knowing each other also.
Okay, sir. ठीक है सर, धन्यवाद।
Yeah, please. Pawan Kumar ji, what is your question?
Yeah. Hi Shiva ji. So thank you very much for this session. I think I'm really impressed. The kind of effort you put in from past 3 years. But what I'm little unclear in this entire approach is, it's been 3 years that without any funding or any support, you are alone working on this idea. I mean, with some of your close team. But where do you eventually want to get? Because you started with some idea, you later realized that Vimana Shastra is, exactly talked about this some years back. And then now you're looking for some technical support as well as the Vimana Shastra, Sanskrit, those technological support as well. But having the Shiva, like where exactly you want to land? I mean, you want to commercialize this idea. I mean, you want to commercialize this idea, sell it as a product, monetize this idea. I mean, where exactly you're traveling? That is.
So that's a pretty good question, actually. So basically, as I already said, so this invention is a wheel for air and water, actually. So we humans actually we forgot to make the wheel for air and water, and this is this is so shocking and surprising that the modern science, the thing is so advanced, but it forgot the wheel for air and water. And this invention, which has already been done thousands of years ago, and our ancient people have used these wheels for air and water, and they made aeroplanes out of this. And shockingly, I found out this like about 1 year ago. But anyway, what we are already working on making it as a product. We already have a product. We want to start the production of making this as a micro wind turbine. There's a lot of advantages. You can put this on the border in India and China, and you can generate power for putting cameras as a border security control, because generating power on the top of the mountains is very difficult. And this one is very easy to install in remote locations, because all you need is a hub and 4 blades. And that's it. You can put it on the backpack and go and install it. You don't need a mast. You don't need 10 bags of cement to make the foundation. So the product itself has a lot of advantages. So we're already starting going to start production of these micro wind turbines. But there are many other use cases. So you can make drones easily with this 360-degree directional thrust propeller. You can make drones, and recently I found out you can also make Roku Vimana, other Vimanas. So this when you tell this to modern science, it looks absurd actually. Why we didn't invent it? And many experts they don't want to accept it because it's a slap on their face. Why we forgot inventing the wheel and start using the wheel for air and water, and suddenly one guy comes and this is the wheel for air and water. They don't want to take it. They don't want to accept it. And luckily, I found out that this was already being used in the past, like more than 8,000 years ago. And then this is a reference as a base. This is not something new out of the blue, which is not people. Many think that it's what I'm doing is fake here. Many people think that it's a fake graphics I'm doing or fake videos I'm putting. And I have a product. I want to sell it.
Yeah.
This is real. People don't understand this. Even many experts, they don't get what I'm doing. And the fundamental problem is, I'll explain you what is the problem here. So this thing is done already 100 years ago. In 1920, a Christian Boeing propeller has been done on bottom left side. The problem is the hub is huge. And in 2017, University of Siegen, they did it. In Germany, they did it. They got huge funding, multi-million dollars of funding to University of Siegen. They also did it. The fundamental problem, I think you can see the screen, right? So the fundamental problem is when they did it, the hub was huge. And they had these blades, they're rotating in a cylindrical form. And I'm the first one to make this in a small, in half moon shaped hub, and which is small and compact. The fundamental problem is when you put that blades in a cone shape, you have to put all the mechanism in that zero radius point. And what's ever done, people have done in the last 100 years is a huge hub. It's so big, it's not scalable. You can't use it anymore. And we are the first ones to put all that complex mechanism into that small half moon shaped hemisphere. And this is the impossible thing. Actually, many mechanical experts say this is impossible. How did you do it? Many people, when we showed this in World Energy Council Abu Dhabi in 2019, some experts, they said like, no, this is impossible. Please open up and show inside how you did it. And they said, no, we don't want to show it. This is the secret. And we didn't know that it was impossible. Afterwards, we came to know that this was impossible, and we did it. And the people are not willing to accept this. This is a point, actually. So anyway, this is working, and we have a final product, and we want to make this into production. But there are many use cases. You can also make drones and vimanas. You can make boats, ships. There are tons of use cases for this. And we can also make the
right. So you first, yeah, go ahead, Shiva. Sorry.
For the introduction, Pawanji, for your question, actually, I wanted to give an answer because you asked whether he wanted to do it commercially, etc. But my answer is yes. If he has commercially, how you people can help? If he has to do a lot of research, how you people can help? And how we can use this technology in our daily life, daily based life, like electricity generation and batteries and so many other things. How we can connect this power in each and every house, so that each and every house can produce power generation and so many other things.
Right. Yes.
So now the question is not the commercialization of that. The question is whether linkage between Vedas and is a research.
Exactly.
That is the main topic here now. Now we are establishing here now there is a linkage, and it can be done.
Shiva's primary effort is to disprove that it's not a pseudoscience. I think that's what I clearly understood. Second is to
This Vedic Samskrutam is have got full knowledge of science, and then they are much more advanced than what we think of their knowledge.
Exactly. So actually, that's a very good point, which I also want to highlight. Actually, the Vedic science is so advanced. The modern science would need another 200 to 300 years to understand the complexity and the technological advancement of Vedic science. I would say that the modern science is still in the kindergarten stage, which is not really arrogant, but after looking at
Siva, if you say that all modern scientists will laugh at us, but still it is true. Right?
Even the modern scientists take hundreds of years, they can't come to our level. Sorry.
Just beating will not do. No, we have to come forward and prove it.
Yes, sir, definitely we have to do it.
Yeah, just by sitting in the room and saying that yes, we are advanced, that will not take us anywhere. Okay. So we have to prove it, and we have to join our hands, and Siva like people should join the hands, and it should be support to the big corporate sectors also, and then our government. In fact, government should take care of this. We have to see into this what is to be done. So any influential people, any knowledgeable people or having connections can definitely get associated with Siva and bring this knowledge out of our Vedavanmayam. Rajgopalan, would you like to share? Manisha Gupta is what like to also talk.
See, I would like to support Mr. Siva's statement, and I will endorse that the modern science requires 200 years to come to this state. Why? Because today he is stating that we are very advanced, and since the ignorance is not the truth, since people are not aware and they are believing that we are fools and we are in darkness, that is not true. That the modern science is very, very far below. And Siva's statement I endorse that we are ignorant, we don't know. But the truth is there, that the knowledge in the Vedas, knowledge in the Darshanas, knowledge in the Shastras, if you go to Vaishashika, it says more about Anu, Paramanu. So as we are ignorant, we were kept under certain situations and circumstances, and we are not knowing about ourselves. It is not true we are ignorant. No, we do not know that we have the capacity and our knowledge is ahead. And I request all of us to open our eyes and realize that our science is more and we don't have an opportunity to have the access. Now we request Prabhakar Rao Saab to, that is, as he is giving Sanskrit knowledge, and if we know more and we can get into that real knowledge, and we can have that confidence again. Sorry to really come in between and give my statement, but
you are right. You are right. What we thought was that only. What this is a combination of work of Science Pandit, Veda Pandit plus Science Pandit, modern Science Pandit. So these three sections have to mix up, and a research platform should be created, whether it's a private creation or a government creation. That is, we'll see what God decides on this. Next, Manish ji, what is the question? Next, I will ask Rajgopalan ji to explain completely.
Namaskar, and thank you, Shukriya, for posting this. I don't have any question, but I just want to request Siva Garu, whenever you happen to be in India, please also plan a trip to Hyderabad. There are a few interesting channels here in Hyderabad where you should also present. There is Triple IT Hyderabad.
Can you share your number, Manish ji, with me?
I can do
please.
that.
Please share your number in the group
so that
chat, please. Yeah, so that we can keep it, and we will be in touch with you whenever Siva comes there.
Perfect. There are multiple platforms, I think, where you can come and present.
Very nice,
sure
very nice assurance you have given to us. That is a good scope for Siva to push forward.
Sure. Thank you, and good luck in this. That's it from my side.
Manish Gupta, please remember the name, Shivaji.
Yeah, sure. Please share your number, Manish ji. Yeah.
Please share your number. Rajgopalan ji, please. Yeah.
At the outset, I would like to congratulate Mr. Siva for opening out the third eye and bringing out the thing which was hidden inside the Vedas. One thing I would like to ask, it has happened every time. Yesterday also we had the similar analogical differences between the Ayurveda and allopathy. I would like to say that some of the propagators of strong vouchers of Veda, I am a Vedic person, Swayamacharyas. I too have a lot of regard, respect for Veda. And being a nuclear scientist and space scientist, I would like to say that it is not appropriate at any juncture to say that X is superior than Y or Y is superior than X, because these are all nothing but the modulus of X minus Y. Those who are in mathematics, they can understand X minus Y is the modulus. So the minor differences what we have, it has to be resolved, and we have to get into the correct solutions. And using of one technique with the other and integrating the one is always the best one. So ignorance is not a bliss. Again, I already say, if I say that I have $1 lakh in my locker and I'm not able to buy one banana in the shop, then that is also meaningless. I'm as good as a pauper than having $1 lakh in a locker. Okay, so with this analogy, I would like to congratulate again. One more thing I would like to say, Professor Siva is having a problem of converting the hidden knowledge in Veda and integrating with the modern science, or you can say technology. I would like to say two names which can be of much more useful to him in India and who are very well established. They are all technocrats as well as Sanskrit Pandit and very good physics persons. So one is Professor Ramasubramaniam Professor Ramasubramaniam from IIT Bombay. Please visit him. He is an expert in physics, dynamics, and at the same time the exponent in outbeating exponent in Sanskrit, and especially on Lilavati, and I think where he can convert the equations of different equations, including the differentials and other things, and it can be useful to you for fluid mechanics, because fluid dynamics is more important, because I am also a person of fluid dynamics. So whatever you are developing, we have to prove in the audience that yes, it can come out of that shell, and we can prove that yes, it was existing and we could do it. Just merely saying will not do. And another thing is that what I would like to say, another professor is Professor Kannan from Indian Institute of Technology, Chennai. He is also excellent in Sanskrit knowledge, translation, at the same time a technocrat. And you all know that aeronautical engineering of IIT Chennai is far, far better than any of the IITs in India. So Indian Institute of Science already has attempted. That is why I'm not taking the name. However, he can use the services or the help of Professor Menon. She's a Mrs. Menon. She's a Sanskrit professor in Indian Institute of Science. She's got a very good integration with most of the persons in India for all the science and technology. She's part and parcel of the Indian Institute of Science Sanskrit faculty. Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore.
Okay.
Bangalore. Okay. So, and another thing is that what I would like to say, that he was searching for the person. I am from the Department of Atomic Energy. I retired as a regional director. I would like to say that Department of Atomic Energy and Space are outwardly separate, but they are one and the same. And we are having integration with DRDO and everything. And with the present political scenario, I don't want to name XYZ. With the present political scenario, such innovative ideas, integrating it with Vedas, will be totally accepted. Please forget that India is not of those what it was a few decades back. Now it is totally open to the environment, and we are having BRNS projects. Please note down BRNS. So, of Department of Atomic Energy, you go with a proposal. There will be a team of experts. We are much more open. We are not totally result oriented. If you get positive,
please tell that.
if you get negative,
please tell that section again.
BRNS. When you go to the Department of Atomic Energy site, dae.gov.in, you will get it. This one, BRNS projects are there. You apply with your project. You have to give a demo. You have to tell. You have to present yourself in front of all the experts. Whoever is there, they will ask you, and you will get a project. So once you start with the project with some sufficient funding will be there, you go ahead. The thing is that the instead of saying that I don't have facility, you would have tried. If West is not accepting, means two things are possible. One, your quality of work may not be of such value which they can recognize or they can understand. Second one, purposely they are understood, but they don't want to encourage you. But in either case, it is best to come to India. This is my motherland. This is Veda land. This is the land of Karma Bhumi, where karma is always given recognition. And I'm having a full support to you, because being a research scientist, scholar, and as well as a Vedic Pandit, being a Swamacharya of the Ramanujacharya's family, Vaishishta Advaita, having done a lot of work on this, the Desikacharya's equations on Laplace's and Schrodinger's equations, chess theory, and everything he has explained so nicely in our Vedic literature. So what I feel that if you come back to India, work with the Indians, integrate yourself, instead of saying, having a little bit of also jaundice eye, that modern science is inferior or higher, hardly matters. If I'm having a knife to cut it, let me buy a knife from the market and cut the bread. Why do I should tear it with my hand? So use the technology, whatever is available. Whatever this innovative department, I can easily say that no other institute, including IITs or any other research institute in India, can claim that they are far ahead than atomic energy and space, because I am a research scientist. I failed many times in many of my attempts, but succeeded finally. So recognition is there, reward is there, satisfaction you will get it. But finally, again I say, satisfaction you will get only in India. That is my motherland. we will be honored, recognized only by our mothers, not by the stepmothers or anybody outside this country. So I will not agree if somebody says that science has what Veda is having 1,000 times and this is having, these all ratios proportion. Let us forget. Let us prove ourselves as our Prahlad Rao, Prabhakar Rao Garu said. Use the thing resources available as on date.
Okay, sir.
Data available
Now,
on this date.
yeah,
Science and technology.
agree,
Go ahead.
agree.
Please
Dhanyawad.
try your level best. You will
So we
succeed.
note,
If mission
so
is
Mr. Raj,
mission is
we note
honest,
down,
Satyam is
yeah,
there with you. You will succeed one day or the other.
yeah.
This is my
Mr. Raj,
and with all the best as a senior citizen, all the best for you and blessings to you.
Shivaji, note down Mr.
Thank
Raj
you.
Gopal's name also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Then
I
now
am available
I request
for your any
yeah,
help as far as
yeah.
the computer modification, artificial intelligence, 3D modeling, 3D printing, your simulations, modeling, structural analysis, fabric analysis, or if you want anything on the geodynamics aspect or your earth sciences aspect or computer science aspect or your Vedic aspect, I am there at you. Whatever little knowledge I have, surely I can spare with you, but I am not a master in Sanskrit. This much you remember, but I have used a lot of Sanskrit for my research work. Thank you.
Sorry
Thank
for
you, sir.
Very good. Excellent.
Rajagopalacharya. I request your help even in making the, what do you say, simulation and internal testing or so many other things, aerodynamics of different types of.
Yes,
we'll
yes,
share
you
his,
can
we'll,
attempt
we'll,
it. You
we'll
have
share
to
the
attempt
number.
only. I tell you
Now,
only one minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. If you can approach our DRDO, Hyderabad. Somebody was telling in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is the center for excellence in science and technology. I worked in Hyderabad, DMRL, DRDO, and different places. So the thing is that if you go and approach the director there, please meet him and see. They have the excellent prototype. They can help you in making the prototype. They can test it. They can do everything, whatever you want. And we don't have any inhibitions as far as atomic energy, DRDO, and DOS is concerned. Please venture. Once you go and venture, there will be a hurdle. Government, these are all government departments. Inertia is very high. We have to push through the things with our convictions and strong willpower. That I will say as a scientist. We will fail, we will succeed. So please go ahead. I am sure that you will succeed. And our Veda will be one day ruling throughout the world and will become the superpower. And you are the person who has sprouted out with a new idea. Whatever existing, you are really mined the gold from the polar mine and brought it onto the surface. So I congratulate you once again and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Lena Mahendra ji, are you there? Lena ji? She left, it seems. Okay. Now, Sadhvijanand ji, please give your concluding remarks, please.
Namaste, everyone. I'm very happy to be the part. And really, I enjoyed all the talks on Tambulam and on the wheel and on the creations, cyclic creation. All of them have presented very well. And as it is said, we have to bring it to the light for the common people and also for the research and DRDO, because we are the people, those who can take it to them. And I just posted to your WhatsApp, there is another science initiation is done by government in Rajasthan. So you look into that, so we can connect our knowledge and all the scholars to them. So we can initiate the connection between the government and the scholars, those who are speaking here. And so we can be the link for them. I want our committee or our group to be the link for the government and all other research institute. And on the wheel, I will say that if somebody can connect to the Mahindra and Mahindra or the Tata group, those who are working on the vehicles and all that. Third thing is that we can use this for the energy generations, because the pollution is so much by this oil and all that. So if we can convert this solar energy through this wheel productions and also through the ocean, in France, they have started this, like from the ocean waves, they are creating the energy. So if this particular will idea is there, which can be converted for the creating the pure energy, which can save our country, our earth also. So we should look into that also. And in the Ayurvedic, the Tambula also is very good, very well presented. And so I'm very happy that we have such a beautiful scholars to present the topics here. Namaste.
धन्यवादः। महोदय, भवती उक्तवती कुछ लिंक भेजा है, can you send it to me, to my WhatsApp group, WhatsApp this thing?
What?
That link you said from Rajasthan Research Institute link.
I already sent you the photo.
Yeah, where in my
on your chat? WhatsApp. On your WhatsApp, I have posted.
Okay. I will look into it. I will look into it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So anybody else would like to share anything more? Shall we close the session today? Thank you very much for everybody. Before closing session, we'll have Shanti Mantram and Janaganamana. Then we'll close the session. Please join me in Shanti Mantram. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kacchit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Satcham Vada Dharmanchara Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Janaganamana. Harihi Om. Nama. Janaganamana-dhinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidata, Punjab Sindhu Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga, Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Udgala Jalati Taranga, Tava Shubha Name Jate, Tava Shubha Shisha Mate, Gare Tava Jaya Gada, Janagana Managala Jaya He, Bharata Bhagya Vidhata, Jaya He, Jaya He, Jaya He, Jaya 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 Jai Hind, Jai Hind, Jai Hind.